Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. One big beautiful family. By hitting that subscription button, it's free for everyone. No one's charging you for anything, so it's just a way to help us creators to continue on with these tutorials. And please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. Most of the time I use a 2.75 hook or 3.5, depending on the project that I'm working on and how big I want it to go. If you have a tight tension, use a 2-size hook bigger than your normal so your patterns don't curve. If you're too loose, then go a size or 2 smaller on your hook so it doesn't become too floppy and messy. I also would like to mention I do have a private crochet group. If you're interested to join, you're more than welcome, as long as you have a profile. I also have Instagram and TikTok. If you're stuck in projects and you need help, you could always message me through there. It's much faster for me to answer you or show me your product, what's going on, or where you're going wrong on it. You can take a picture and send it me through there, because YouTube does not accept that. Most of you should already know that. I also have a Facebook group page, I should say. You can follow me through there also. I want to thank again from the bottom of my heart to all of you that have been helping women in need of thread. And for some of you that are considering, please do so. You could either donate through below the video. There's a little bag that says thank you. You can drop in there whatever amount you'd like. We don't have a specific order of an amount that you have to donate. You can do whatever you'd like. Anything counts and it helps, and I thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to get started, and please, if you can share the video, sharing is caring. It helps tremendously to have more people recognize the channel and become part of this wonderful family. Thank you, everyone. Let's get started. Okay, everyone, so my last tutorial, which was this table runner, you guys remember, I was requested to do an edge. Now, a lot of you know that I do a lot of 3D flowers, and I had questions if I was going to add the 3D flowers onto this pattern. At first, I thought I was, and then I decided, you know what, let's make something different, because normally I do add 3D flowers to almost every runner. So I wanted to keep something simple, but yet gorgeous. So I didn't want to add the 3D flowers, but because you requested an edging for this, so basically I'm just doing the same row as we did if you did this runner. If not, I'll leave the link below anyway. So I'm just increasing the same way as we've been doing the pattern itself. The only difference is it's in between, because obviously we had to sew the patterns together. Here, one to the other. So here is the difference. You know that we don't do the first double crochet and we don't do the last. So on this row we have 2, 4, 6, 7 double crochets, 2 chain and 7 double crochets, 1 chain space, front post. For some of you might be doing just right on top of the double crochet, and some of you might not even be doing the chain if your stitch is too loose. So I have 1 chain, front post, double crochet, 1 chain, skip the first double crochet, and the 7 double crochets with 2 chains, 7 again. So we don't do the last, we don't do the first. Now here in between patterns where we stitched, I've done 1 chain, front post where we have the front post. Here we have that shell, the normal shell with the 2 double crochet. So I did chain 3 and came right in between where we stitched in between shells. Did a V, double crochet, 2 chain, and double crochet, chain 3 again, front post, 1 chain, skip the first double crochet, and do the 7. So basically I just wanted to do this small little tutorial just for the extra, because you asked. So 1 chain, front post, and I've used, this is like a cream, off-white color, more of cream than anything. So front post double crochet, 1 chain space, and continue to do your 7 double crochets. Now I'm just, adding this final touches to the end of this pattern without even thinking exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going with the flow. So very simple, nothing to it. 1 double crochet per stitch. We don't do the first one, we don't do the last. And all of them you should have 7 double crochets on one side, 7 double crochets on the other. Total of 14 double crochets separated by 2 chains. So 1 chain space and front post, 1 chain, and continue on with your 7 double crochets. So I'll meet you here in between patterns, okay? So I've reached my last double crochet in between patterns. I'm going to do 1 chain coming in my front post with front post. Here is the regular shell. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm coming into center here in between the 2 shells where we stitch them together with double crochet, 2 chain, coming back in the same space, and another double crochet. So now I have a V. 1, 2, 3, front post, 1 chain, and again, so I had started right off 2 double crochets in the center of the motif here, so total of 7 double crochets, but you can start pretty much anywhere. There's no specific rule when it comes to the end of the edging. Now I'm going to cut my thread and I'm going to come back in with this burgundy red. So I'm going to finish my I call them paddles, just, you know, so we can be on the same page what we're doing. So I'm going to close in with the slip stitch, cut my thread, and then of course tuck in your loose ends. Okay, so I'm going to come in with my burgundy and see how I'm going to finalize this pattern. I would have left it like this, but because there was such a high demand for you wanted the finishing touch, so for that reason I decided to go ahead and do the small tutorial on it. Okay, so I mean that already looks stunning as it is, right? Okay, so basically I would come in with my red, and you can start anywhere, doesn't really matter, slip stitch knot, and I'm going to start, of course we don't do the first double crochet, so we go into the second. I'm going to do my single, my 2 chain, that's my first double crochet, and we'll proceed by there. So on this row you're supposed to have 8 double crochets on each side. Trying to hide my little thread as I go. And then of course I'm going to do 2 in the center here. Okay, so I've done my 2 double crochets. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to close it with slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm coming in the first one that we closed in, and I'm going to close it with slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, and again close it in the same stitch with slip stitch. Coming back in again, and I'm doing my 2 double crochets. I like these 3 peacocks because it gives it such charm to the pattern, and continue to do 1 per space. Okay, so that's what you're going to do on those paddles, as I call them paddles, to make it easier for us to understand each other. The motive, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm going to do 1 chain. I'm still going to come back in and do my front post, 1 chain, and again, so it's just a repeat now of everything. So on all of the paddles, we're going to do those 3 peacocks. So 2 inside of the 2 chain space, 1, 2, 3 chain, come into the first one here, slip stitch. And I do slip stitch because I don't want to have a big gap there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you close it with single, it will give you a big gap. And I want it to be nice and closed up. Okay, so then just continue on again the same way. So we're just doing these peacocks on all of them like that. I think that looks pretty good. I'll meet you here where we have the connection and see what I'm going to do there. Okay, everyone, so pretty much did a few things to it and I wasn't happy with it, and finally I liked this last one that I had done to create here in between the patterns. Okay, so once you finish your last one there, you do 1 chain, do your front post, 1 chain. I'm going to come inside of that V and I'm going to do 6 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 chain, and again front post. 1 chain, and continue your shells here. Not shells, your petals as I call them. So I think this looks pretty nice. And I have done it here also. It doesn't crumple up and it doesn't stretch that much. I think it's just a perfect fit. Another thing is, since some of you had asked me about the 3D flowers, so if you wanted to do the 3D flowers, this is just a sample, just giving the explanation. Of course, this is a little bit bigger because of the out edge, but you can add them onto the edges here on each side. Okay, that's an option for you. I'm not going to add any. I think it's just pretty the way it is, but just to give you an idea. Okay, so then now just complete all of it all the way around. So where we have the in between pattern stitching, this is where we did the V. That's where you fill in the 6 double crochets. Everything else stays the same. Everyone pretty much finished doing all of the runner. I think it looks pretty stunning. You let me know what you think about this extra design on it, right? It's a long one. So obviously the runner itself becomes a little bit longer because 2 more rows extra, and also wider. So I'll put the new measurements below in the description box. I'll also link the video to the table runner itself. I named it Long Runner just because I couldn't come up with a name. Sometimes it's just so hard to figure out a name for a pattern. And so I'll leave the link below for the ones that are just coming in and don't know where the link to this runner is. And for the ones that are coming in, you can make it bigger, longer, and wider by adding extra rows and also motifs like the one here in the center that is always attached and stitched to each side. Okay, so I want to thank every single one of you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps the channel, and also give it a thumbs up. It's extremely important, and thank you so much for the ones that have been doing and have been sharing, especially Miss Charmaine Smith. Thank you so much. She's one of my big sharers on social media. Thank you, Charmaine. And I send you much love and much hugs to every single one of you. And hopefully also prayers up for Miss Joy. I hope you're feeling better, sweetheart. Let me know on the group, on message, on Instagram, how you're feeling. And my prayers are with you and for your son also. So much hugs, everyone. Take care.